Hi guys, Hilarious here. This is a video guide for those interested in entering the Overwatch tournament scene. Playing on a dedicated team is completely different to solo queue, and the goal of this video will be to address those differences. This guide is just a starting point, but I hope it inspires you to go and explore the world of true competitive Overwatch. If you're going to compete, you need a team. There are several large Overwatch community Discord servers that have recruitment/free agent channels. These channels will allow you to advertise yourself if you're looking to play, or look for players if you're building a team from scratch. Your competitive team is going to need at minimum 6 players. In general, the roles you want to fill are main tank, off tank, hitscan DPS, flex DPS, main support, and off support. It helps to get substitute players as well, who may be able to fit more niche roles and fill in for starting players on days they are unavailable. If you want your team to be successful, you and the players should be similar in your goals, what you want to achieve by playing in a team, skill, your level of play, dedication, your commitment to improving, and schedule, specific times you can dedicate to practice and playing. Once you have a preliminary roster, be sure to run tryouts and make sure you work together well in-game. This is where you'll either confirm that you have the foundation of a good team or reconsider whether some players belong. Your team may also benefit from a dedicated coach or analyst who can review your team's gameplay and give advice on how to improve. Congratulations, you have your team. The next step, as with any sports team, is to start practicing together. Welcome to the world of scrims. Scrims are simple. Through a service like Discord or Guilded, you locate another team of a similar skill level looking to practice, and schedule a time to play against each other. The standard scrim block is 2 hours, and map selection will rotate between the teams after each game. Usually, to leave time for more maps, scrim etiquette dictates that teams only play 1 round of offense and defense per map before moving on to the next. Remember, your main goal as a team in scrims is to improve. There are no consequences to losing, so stay calm when things go wrong and be polite to all parties involved. If you want to be competitive in the Overwatch tournament scene, you can't hope to jump into matches with a solo queue approach. The benefit of having a team is that you can formulate all sorts of strategies in advance of your actual game. The most fundamental example of this is team composition. Team composition is the largest strategy consideration in Overwatch. It will influence every part of your team play and is entirely under your control. For this reason, your team should have a logical starting team composition for every map, for both offense and defense. How do you determine these team comps? They'll form from a variety of factors, including current meta team comps, your players' personal hero pools, and the map being played. If you have no idea where to start, my advice is to mimic meta team comps as a starting point, study your team's gameplay, and determine whether adjustments to the comp are necessary. An important note is that you understand how your team comp is actually played. If you're running dive on attack, you shouldn't be slowly inching forward, spending your resources to shield your backline from harm. You should jump forward, diving their backline, and enabling your flankers to join you in eliminating their team. Selecting the right heroes for a team comp isn't effective if you can't execute the paired strategy properly. As your team improves, your strategies will get increasingly complex, subtle, and difficult to execute. Your players as individuals and the team as a whole will often find it a challenge to integrate these new aspects into their play. Patience and experimentation will be required to discover which strategies are the most effective for your personal circumstances. Communication is a huge part of team play we can't gloss over. The main goals of communication are to share relevant information about the enemy with the entire team, plan plays and strategies together so they can be executed cleanly. This is known as shot calling. Target key enemies for your team to focus together in a fight. This is known as target calling. Track enemy ultimates so your team can play around them. This is known as ult tracking. There are 2 popular communication models in competitive Overwatch. I'll refer to them as structural and chaotic communication. Structural communication has a clearly assigned target caller and shot caller. The target caller is generally the main tank, as they often engage the fight and have the shortest range, meaning targets they can focus are targets everyone else can focus. The shot caller is generally the main tank or one of the supports, but anyone with strong game intuition can be the shot caller. Chaotic communication assigns no roles. It's described as a sort of orderly chaos, where teammates collectively and quickly make calls. Calls are executed upon when enough teammates express their agreement with a certain call, sometimes through an enthusiastic repeating of that call. Both communication models have their pros and cons. Newer teams may prefer the clear parameters of structural communication, while experienced teams with lots of synergy may find chaotic communication more comfortable. Remember, communication is never going to be crystal clean, and it'll take lots of practice to refine. Above all else, avoid complete silence. There's always important information to communicate, even if your team is tilted. What's the most effective method for team improvement? It depends on where your team is lacking, which could be in team play, but also in individual play. Some teams excel with communicating and coordinating plays, but crumble when an individual misplays at a crucial moment. Usually, it's a mix of both problems that plague a team. It's important that each player on a team is dedicated to improving their own personal problems, as much as the team as a whole is dedicated to improving its team play. Improvement begins with a review. This means recording footage of your team's gameplay, analyzing it together, and deciding which issues of strategy and execution need to be addressed. A VOD recorder can help immensely by recording scrims from a bird's eye perspective, but they are often difficult to find. Once everyone has a clear goal in mind of what they need to improve in both individual play and team play, they should actively remind themselves to incorporate these necessary changes throughout the next scrim. Through this rinse and repeat process of finding poor play and forcing yourself to eliminate it in the next game, your team will slowly but surely improve. Thanks for watching this basic guide on Overwatch Teamplay. Hopefully now you feel confident in approaching the world of scrims and tournaments. If you have any questions, you can contact me through Discord. I've put my Discord tag in the description below. Good luck and have a great day.